We are back once again with your weekly entertainment news reports. Eddy Kenzo, son of Chief Eddy, threatens to resign his position as president for the Uganda Musicians Federation. We have some details. All right, now straight into the details. Ugandan music star Spice Diana, real names Namukwaya Hajara, is safe but visibly shaken after surviving a disturbing attack by some unknown assailants a few days ago. This incident reportedly occurred on Friday night as she was returning from her pre-birthday celebrations. Spice Diana was in her vehicle with 3 friends when an unidentified border rider allegedly ambushed the car, smashing windows and shattering the windscreen while the group was still inside. No physical injuries were reported, but the emotional toll was significant. Days later, Spice Diana broke her silence on social media, sharing images of her vandalized Range Rover and a candid message. She further clarified that the attack did not happen at her home and emphasized that she was not seeking media interviews or chasing clout, but instead her call was more about personal documentation of her fears. Of course, her revelation about receiving threats adds a chilling dimension to the incident. It remains unclear whether these threats were previously reported to authorities, but that we wait to hear. Now, this incident sparked widespread concern, with fans and fellow entertainers flooding her comment section with messages of support. Now, beyond the celebrity spotlight, it has also reignited broader conversations about public safety and the vulnerability of public figures in Uganda. Questions like if a high-profile artist like Spice Diana can be targeted so brazenly, it raises questions about the protection of everyday citizens. This attack underscores the need for proactive security measures and vigilance, especially when driving on certain roads. But of course, we condole with you, Spice Diana. In Luganda. Yeah. Now, furthermore, Alien Skin and Khalifa Aganaga. The question is Alien Skin a legend? Because I've been seeing this back and forth, and now we're seeing Khalifa Aganaga, who publicly dismissed fellow artist Alien Skin's self-proclaimed legendary status. This is reigniting Uganda's long-standing debate. What truly defines a legend? Alien Skin, currently riding high on viral hits and a fiercely royal fanbase, recently declared himself a legend in the music industry. And in typical Alien Skin's fashion, he dropped the statement casually, but it landed like a spark in dry grass. Fans and fellow musicians alike felt some type of way. One thing he has mastered, I believe, is igniting conversations through his unconventional talk. But of course, for Aganaga, he wasn't having it. In an interview, he argued that greatness in music isn't measured by short-term fame or trending charts. It is earned through longevity, cultural impact, and consistent contribution. If I'm to quote him verbatim, he was like, Alien Skin is not a legend. He is still new in the industry and has not yet made a significant or lasting impact. Let him work for 10 more years and contribute positively to society first, urging younger artists to respect the journey of those who came before them. Of course, you see Khalifa Aganaga naming artists like Jose Chameleone, Bebe Cool, Bobby Wine, and himself among the few who have achieved the legendary status. He says that artists who have endured challenges, who have evolved with the times and shaped Uganda's soundscape across generations deserve that title. Now, according to Aganaga, these names didn't just trend, they transformed the music industry in many different ways. Again, I ask, what is a legend? What could be the definition of someone who is a legend? Let's use the example of the Oxford's Advanced Learners Dictionary, which puts it very clear, that a legend is a very famous or notorious person, especially in a particular field, whose fame is comparable to that of a hero. Now, I believe you have the answer. But Of course, Aganaga father warned against self-declared, these are self-declared titles, saying they risk diluting the value of real achievement in the arts. Father saying that being a legend is not something you declare for yourself. It is earned through time, respect, longevity, and results. It's interesting that some of these, his thoughts and comments stirred some online discussion, with some of you fans split between defending Alien's boldness while others are agreeing with Aganaga's call for patience, humility, and all those other things we were saying. Personally, I wonder, because in an era where virality can feel like victory, this clash reminds us that a legacy isn't built in a moment. It is forged over time, but again, the question is, and that is by Ugandan standards, what qualifies someone to be called a legend? Yeah. Personally, I don't have any issue with someone choosing to give themselves any titles, for as long as it makes them feel comfortable somewhere, somehow. Now, moving on away from Khalifa, Alien Skin, and the likes, we now get into something else. That is Eddy Kenzo, son of Chef Ali, husband to Minister Nyamutoro, the only BET award winner in Uganda, is making news yet again, and he has threatened to resign from his role as president of the Uganda National Musicians Federation. At least going by the different media reports from Celebrity Patrol to Big Eye and the likes, his frustration stems from government's delay in releasing $5 billion, which is meant for the artist's circle, despite prior approval and support from General Salim Saleh. Now, Kenzo claims that the ministry is attempting to bypass the federation, which he says is undermining its effort to support musicians. Now, if unresolved, Kenzo says he will step down, signaling a major shift in Uganda's music leadership. But I think Kenzo, I think he must have thrown there a stone. What would be the response? I believe the federation has received a good amount of money, but if they are demanding for more, I believe they have their reasons. And maybe these delays or channeling it through through the ministry, there are also reasons to that. It is something that we just need to give time and wait to see. But the threat of you resign, why would you resign and what are you talking? Now, moving on away from Eddy Kenzo into other stars that made news this week. Of course, I saw Chameleone also saying something. Details here. Ugandan music legend Chameleone has revealed that he is open to performing at Bobi Wine's campaign rallies, but he can only do that if he's formally requested by Bobi Wine himself. Now, speaking recently, Chameleone reminded colleagues that despite their political differences, Bobi Wine remains a friend. Of course, Chameleone's political journey has been anything but linear. After a brief stint with the National Unity Platform, where he was denied a party card for the mayoral race in 2020, you also saw him shifting to Democratic Party before eventually settling with the National Resistance Movement, which he now openly supports. Chameleone, who is currently in USA, was also spotted attending the wedding of longtime friend Juliet Zawede, who tied the knot with Tanzanian singer Bushoke. Now, while speculation swirled about a possible romantic link between Chameleone and Juliet Zawede, it turns out the two are simply close friends. Chameleone actually was best man at that wedding, and he also said that he has like three best friends, one being, I think, the mother, then the other one being Juliet Zawede, who was the third one, yeah? Anyways, meanwhile, Weasel Manizo is also making news in his own way, this time for matters of the heart. He has reportedly rekindled his relationship with baby mama Sandra Teta, and the sources say he's dangerously in love again. Abamulaba ku social media, abamulaba posting about videos buli mu nyimba za love. Fans will remember Sandra as the woman involved in a past altercation where she allegedly knocked down Weasel with a car. But as they say, love is blind, the couple seems to be embracing a fresh start. For me, I would say we are wishing them a happy, dramatic reunion. Omusajja bamutomera naye they say love is blind. Anyways, moving away from Wizo Manizo, who is drunk in love. The Uganda High People Awards. These are prestigious music awards. And of course, they are returning for the 14th edition, which will be happening on the 14th of November at Kampala Serena Hotel. It's going to be a star-studded gala which will honor excellence in Uganda and Ugandan and African music, spotlighting artists, producers, and creatives who have shaped the continent's soundscape. These awards were founded by Innocent Kawoya and powered by High People. The awards have grown over the past 14 years into a continental platform that celebrates not just music, but the culture and of course other areas like innovations and digital inclusion. This year includes 2 new categories, that is Media Personality of the Year and Influencer of the Year, expanding recognition beyond performers to those who amplify and champion the music across platforms. Of course, nominees were announced on the 8th of October with 12 public vote categories and 1 special recognition award. Fans can now vote online while a panel of experts evaluate technical and cultural impact. Artists like Ava Peace, Joshua Baraka lead the nomination this year. The High People Music Awards are part of the Level 1 project, which promotes financial inclusion and digital empowering across Africa. So clearly, from traditional rhymes to modern beats, the High People Music Awards continue to honor the full spectrum of African sound. It's now just a night of trophies. It's basically not just a night of trophies. It is a celebration of legacy, innovation, and the voices that shape our tomorrow. I always host the High People Red Carpets, and now that you're also having these new categories that are not best on fan votes, where you basically just appreciating and recognizing people who have been impactful in the different fields. We are looking forward and we are looking out to see how this year's edition pans out. Moving on away from High People Music Awards, I know most of you are familiar with the DJ known as DJ Rachel. Ugandan music icon DJ Rachel has publicly revealed she is battling stage 4 lung cancer with the lesions that have spread to her brain. Now, in a heartfelt appeal, which was shared through GoFundMe campaign, she has called on fans, friends, and well-wishers to support her treatment journey. Now, DJ Rachel is widely recognized as one of East Africa's pioneering female DJs. DJ Rachel's influence spans decades of trailblazing work in entertainment, and now she faces one of her toughest battles yet, and her legacy deserves our collective support. So you can go and look out for that GoFundMe page. Support in any way you possibly can. Beyond her personal fight, Rachel's story is a powerful reminder of the urgent need for public awareness about cancer. Things like early detection and accessible health care for all Ugandans. Key to note, it's a moment for all of us to rally, to reflect, and respond with compassion and action as DJ Rachel calls for our help, calls for our philanthropy. I couldn't show some of the photos while she was in the hospital due to editorial reasons, but you can go check them out on her social media platforms and support in any way you possibly can. Now, moving away from DJ Rachel, now enter the B2C. Ugandan dynamic trio, that is B2C, is up for major things. Yes, they are set to officially release their latest EP titled Love in Kampala, and that will be on the 24th of October 2025. Now, according to details shared on their verified social media platforms, the release marks a new chapter in their decade-long journey of Afro beats, excellence and streetwise storytelling. Now, while the full track detail remain under wraps, the EP is expected to feature artists like Gloria Boogie, either as a contributor, at least going by the group's online promo visuals. Now, this project promises a fresh yet familiar sound, which is rooted in Kampala's vibrant pulse. Now, of course, Love in Kampala will be released under B2C Entertainment Limited, and it will be made available on Apple Music and other major streaming platforms. The trio remains one of the few surviving music groups from Uganda's new generation. Proof that unity, talent, and authenticity still win. Now, in more news, it's official as a referee on the whistle that Irene Ntare is married. At least we can finally get to confirm. Yes, musician Irene Ntare is off the singles list. This celebrated vocalist tied the knot with her fiancé Kalibala in a colorful and intimate ceremony. Now, while the guest list sparked some online chatter, particularly the absence of her former Swang's Avenue management team, I think it's a reminder that when people move on, they move on, they move on, and they move forward. No shade, just growth, okay? Now, of course, Irene Ntare, for me, I just want to celebrate you and your husband, One Kalibala, and may your reunion be blessed with love, peace, and joy as you take that in life. Now, in other news, again this week, singer Nando Love lost her dad. We wish to condole with you, Nando Love. The father was laid to rest in Luwero. She shared emotional moments from the burial, and fans have rallied around her with messages and support, and also condolences from also fellow musicians. Also, still in more sad news, we also wish to condole with the people of Kenya. Kenya's former Prime Minister Raila Odinga passed away while receiving treatment in India, and he was laid to rest at his ancestral home in Bondo, Siaya County. Of course, his death marks the end of an era in East African politics, with tributes pouring in from all across the region. Down here at UBC, we are here with the CEO of Grandpa Records, Rafiga. He was also here. There were some moments he shared, also performed, Raila Odinga's favorite song, in memory and in respect for the loss. Uganda was represented by former Prime Minister Ruhakana Rugunda. And yeah, that is it. From him we come, from him we return. Guys, we have to wrap up our weekly entertainment news report. Thank you so much for tuning in. We do appreciate feedback. So do the needful at Calvin the Entertainer, at UBC TV Uganda, at Magic One HD, and of course also on all our social media platforms. Those on TikTok, you know what to do. Comment section. We do appreciate. I'll see you next week, same time. Have a lovely one. Peace and love.